Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. We just got a new surprise Grand Theft Auto 6 reveal. So this just came across my timeline. Obviously, earlier on today, we had Rockstar officially address the CyberLeak stuff. The prologue has also leaked for GTA 6. So like there's been some crazy stuff going on earlier on today, but the Dazed site ended up just dropping an exclusive GTA 6, an exclusive deep dive into the video game of the decade. And in this, we get a handful of new screenshots, new looks at the game, and a lot of rundown. So the cover art here for Dazed features Jason and Lucia, new idols, GTA 6. So we get a new look of them there, which is really cool. Then, like I said, this article features a bunch of new screenshots, a bunch of new looks at various different characters. So we're gonna go through, break it down. This story is taken from the autumn 2026 issue of Dazed. That goes on sale September 10th. On the sweltering Leonida Keys, sweat slicks the skin of two lovers on the run as they toast new beginnings, watching the sun set over the water. A breeze blows through their hair and you can almost feel the condensation dripping from the cold beer bottles in their hands. In the background, locals gather on the weather-beaten dock, indifferent to the story unfolding between the outlaws. Elsewhere, a few miles north, tanned bodies of all shapes and sizes warm the sand on the beach. Further north still, locals are caked in mud, kicked up from the back of a dirt bike, or splattered on stars and stripes bikinis. And as night falls back in Vice City, sweaty crowds surge to deafening hip-hop beats, spilling out amongst the clubs onto the neon-lit streets. Been 13 years since we've seen a GTA game, and GTA 6 is going to be one of the biggest of all time. It transports the action from San Andreas to Leonida, based on Florida. That's more than a decade of anticipation, meaning there's unprecedented pressure on the follow-up to meet expectations, as Rob Nelson, head of development and the co-studio head at Rockstar North, tells Dazed, saying, "I don't think that any amount of external pressure could compare with the pressure that we put on ourselves as a team." We end up getting this new look at Jason and Lucia, similar outfits and hairstyles and whatnot to some of the other things that we've seen. When the pre-orders went live, we saw similar things to this. We got the High Life Hotel in the background there, but a cool look at Jason and Lucia there. GTA 6 promises something in between GTA 5 and RDR2. The open world game is set in the same fictionalized US that serves as the backdrop for the rest of the series, with all the weapons and supercars you'd expect, but the world is more grounded and reactive than before. Gone are the days when you could traverse the city like a god. Now players' actions have consequences. Walk down the street with a rifle and the city will have something to say about it. More and more, the games are converging on real life, and non-player characters, NPCs, are acting, well, less like NPCs. For some gamers, there's a fear that what GTA 6 gains in immersion, it loses in the chaos and anarchy that's been a part of the series. But for Rockstar, the goal is to create a world of total immersion which reacts more realistically than ever. Saying, "We look back at our previous games with a critical eye and see where we want to evolve based on what we didn't do as well as what we would have liked to, either because we didn't have the time, resources, or technological capabilities, or in some cases, things we just didn't do as well or consider as fully as we could have." A lot of what we do is very iterative. We adjust a lot of things based on what is working and what's not. And then we get some more looks here. We've got to look at Booby here in the car. It's got like a crazy paint design on here. You can see like the specks glittering in the sunlight there. Then we also have another look at Lucia in the red dress here. Again, we've seen this in some of the pre-order images already, but some new screenshots nonetheless there. The story has evolved, with higher stakes and characters grounded in all aspects of the world that they inhabit. Players step into the shoes of Jason and Lucia, an ex-military drug runner and a fighter fresh out of prison, respectively, and can choose to play either as a couple or go off and do chaos independently. This marks the first time that a GTA game has featured a playable couple in the lead role. Obviously, we had the switching stuff between GTA 5, but that was 3 different characters there, not an actual couple. This allows for a unique scenario, or a bunch of unique scenarios. On the way to a job, for example, players can cruise along the highway as Jason are swapped to Lucia in the passenger seat and scroll on the in-game phone. And yes, there are different social media apps you could use. When the job inevitably goes wrong and spirals into a car chase, the fluid system enables players to take the wheel in a moment, then fire on pursuers out of the passenger window the next. And afterwards, when it's all blown over, they can skim across the waves on a jet ski, admiring the Leonida seascape and leaping dolphins with their arms wrapped around their partner's waist. True romance, like Jason and Lucia's, usually takes a back seat in GTA games, which, when it comes to the matters of love and sex, are more commonly associated with the clubs and the various other things going on in game. But GTA 6 is consciously staged as a Bonnie and Clyde type narrative, the senior vice president of narrative at Rockstar, Rupert Humphreys, says. The trailers alone feature a slew of intimate cutscenes from Jason and Lucia's own fugitive tale, which showcase the special attention that Rockstar's art and tech teams have paid to how bodies look and feel. A hand on a rib cage, hips swinging on a dance floor. For some gamers, the story might even serve as one of their earliest encounters with a romantic relationship, where their choices can have repercussions that cut much deeper than previous honor systems. Saying, "The thing we love about this medium is the way that these characters aren't empty avatars that you can do whatever you want with. Their story becomes a journey that you share with them," Rob Nelson said. Lucia is also the first fully fleshed out female lead in a GTA game. Before her, it's always been male protagonists. Previous installments, including 5, drew criticism for their misogynistic themes and underdeveloped female characters, but the series has evolved and hopes to attract more female gamers as well. In Lucia and Jason, they've created characters with rich, complex identities while still leaving ample room for players to make their own. The joy of GTA is as much what players do at the moments in between story beats, and Rockstar offers what has been, up until now, as close to true freedom as you're going to get within the confines of a virtual world. We want to enable as much self-expression as possible, Rockstar says, without losing the essence of characters. With GTA 5, for example, you could rampage the streets with an assault rifle or tank, cruise by the Pacific, relax with a round of golf. RDR2 pushed things further with shootouts. Player control protagonist Arthur Morgan could retreat into the wild to fish, hunt game, make a campfire, so on and so forth. Come down out of the mountains a few weeks later and he'd grown a long beard and a mane of hair or lost weight. Bar fights, meanwhile, would leave him bruised and scarred. So again, world evolution, character evolution. We get some more screenshots here. Another one of Jason with a similar attire to what we've seen in some of the pre-order screenshots so far. And then another one here with like the dog as well. He's got the crazy chain on. So that's a pretty interesting image as well. GTA 6 marks the return and expansion of these interactive systems that alter the protagonist's bodies. Food affects Jason and Lucia's weight, while exercising builds muscle and tones them. If you end up spending a long time away from your bed or run from the police on a multi-day bender, their features are going to pay the price for that as well. So you could look like you were absolutely exhausted in game. This kind of interactivity is unique to video games, shaping the world and the player's responses to it in turn. Between the visual feedback mechanisms, deep relationship mechanics, and heightened realism of the world they inhabit, people might even think twice about going on the arcade-style rampages that GTA games have previously been known for. Rockstar says we'll meet with ex-criminals, law enforcement's club promoters, gun dealers, and anyone notorious or influential who will take our calls. We hang out, get a feeling for the place, listen to the stories. One of the senior art director for characters says, imagine like being a gun dealer, you get a phone call and you're like, you want to meet and interview me about what I do? Like it's gotta be a weird scenario, right? Vice City, the heart of GTA. By the way, this is a very long article, which is cool that we get this insight. Vice City, the heart of GTA 6's Leonidas, is based on Miami. This means players can expect encounters with virtual iterations of the Florida Man, the cultural archetype known for wrangling alligators, drunken antics, and a literal Grand Theft Auto. But these outsized characters are just one bizarre facet of a world built with an open mind and a genuine appreciation and deep curiosity. It's easy to go in with a cynical view and say, well, that's weird, put it in the game, and we just couldn't stop there. We had to bring a sense of discovery to the players too, not just repeat cliches that already exist. To do that, that requires years of on-ground exploration. Various groups of Rockstar employees have visited Miami and the surrounding areas over the last decade. And there's a dedicated research team embedded in the city. That first-hand context helped us understand the visual markers and nuances that define the identities that we wanted to represent while filtering them through the unique lens of GTA. So there's going to be a lot of things mimicking real life, actual Florida in this and the general world, the general environment that you'd run into, but in a GTA way. We then get another screenshot here. Roxy wears clothes, stock 305, some Tucci glasses, custom made chains as well. So plenty of customization there. They also go on to say GTA 6's brands reflect the aspirations, aesthetics, and lifestyles of the people that inhabit our world spaces. With all the characters here, you look back on GTA 5's hipsters and geeky tech bros as kind of like a 2010 time capsule. What kind of cultural archetypes are we going to look back when we revisit GTA 6 in 13 years, and how true will they remain in present day? The artists, writers, and developers at Rockstar are conscious on the tightrope that they're walking. Take Stu Petrie, Vice President of 2D and UI Design, who's overseen a lot of the in-world building for GTA 6, including many of the in-game products, brands, shops, campaigns that bear more than a passing resemblance to real-life counterparts, saying the vision is to build a vibrant, believable culture, he says, meaning that every brand, from a fashion label to a car company, has to feel like a one-off joke, as if it actually exists and serves as a real-life purpose in the cultural ecosystem. These brands reflect the aspirations, aesthetics, and lifestyles of the people that inhabit the spaces, as we read earlier there. We get yet another image here, Raul Batista here with his shirt on. He's got the pistol on the table as well there. Really cool screenshots here, and they all look really, really good. Visually, obviously, that's to be expected. The potential to explore a diversity of cultures and lifestyles is partly why the series ended up circling back to Vice City. Rockstar says Florida and Miami have perhaps one of the most diverse and interesting populations in the world. They've got the fashion ecosystem that aims to reflect all kinds of nuances with taste, lifestyle, affluence, and individuality here. Vice City is built around vanity, basically saying between social media, celebrity culture, and the constant flow of tourists, appearances carry significant weight and trend cycles turn over quickly. So it's ever evolving, and you're going to see a little bit of everything here is kind of what I gather out of that. They say to bring that diversity to life in game, we developed new tools and pipelines that enabled us to build the most detailed and varied character population ever. It's a combination of how a character looks, moves, interacts, and expresses themselves, brought together through collaboration across multiple teams. It's a landscape that players feel they've been dropped into and are made to endlessly roam around in. So it's very much going to be a living world in a sense. And that basically concludes this article. Some very cool rundowns here, obviously some new screenshots as well, which is a key takeaway here, completely out of the blue. Like, we were not expecting any kind of new GTA 6 announcement today. That's all reserved for tomorrow with the extended look, but that's gonna wrap things up. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.